Reporters at the Louisiana Illuminator launched a new series this month, and it's called Red Alert, about a Louisiana refinery accused of spilling toxic waste into public areas and waterways. And Greg LaRose, editor-in-chief of the Louisiana Illuminator, joins us now with the details on this. All right, wherever you want to start with this, because this is a huge topic across Louisiana, but what's the story with this refinery?
So this is the Kaiser Aluminum, or the old Kaiser Aluminum refinery. It's now known as Italco. And when you refine bauxite's basically the core compound from which you extract alumina. But to do that, you need to mix it with some nasty stuff. That nasty stuff creates a byproduct that has to be stored somewhere. And they're stored in what are called red mud lakes, because that's what's in them, a toxic red mud. And these are huge lakes that have 50-foot earthen levees that are supposed to keep in the red sludge, but tons of documentation from the state, and really you can go and see it if you know where to look, and you'll see where this material has corroded from the lakes through the levees, under roadways, and into public drainage ditches that end up feeding the backwaters of Lake Maurepas on the east bank of St. James Parish. You probably know this if you've ever driven the Veterans Bridge in Gramercy and you see these big red clouds. That's the bauxite that's being transferred from the ships to the refinery, and this dust gets on everything. So the big question we looked into is to whether there were health concerns there. And so we know St. James is right at the heart of Cancer Alley. We do know that there are preponderance of chronic illnesses and such. Doctors won't directly link these things. Well, they can't say that it's conclusively causing things like bronchitis, cancer.
Causation versus correlation, which is a big thing in the medical community,
The EPA has sort of said, okay, yeah, we see it, we acknowledge it. Louisiana's Department of Environmental Quality will just say, you know, we don't acknowledge the term Cancer Alley. We don't see the connection. So they're stopping short of that. So not only is this a mess for folks just, you know, seeing it on their homes, their cars, it's on everything. They are also attributing it their health issues to it as well.
So, and here's the question, because obviously we just saw the story, which is completely separate, of Dr. Kimberly Terrell leaving Tulane, working in the environmental law clinic, saying that the state's financial priorities are bigger than what the research is actually showing on people's health. Is this along the same lines, Greg, where there's resistance to make the connection because there's a fear of losing business? Yeah,
there's no doubt that there's, I think, sort of the corporate motivation to not have an official government stamp on this being attributed to health reasons. What our series looks into is how there's been documentation of these leaks for quite some time. They started perhaps as early as April of last year, and months and months and months went by, and the neighbors of this facility had no idea until we went asking them about it.
So no one's telling them that there is a risk here?
Not telling them that there's a leak, not telling them that there's a heightened risk. Yeah, there are lots of concerns, and you know, we're continuing to peel back that onion.
It is a large one to peel, especially for people that are not getting notified of things that they may be living through. If you are someone in that parish or in that area that's feeling this, is there anything to do right now?
I would perhaps suggest talking to the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality if you notice leaks and whatnot. And this is what's happened in the past. We talked to a town alderman in Gramercy who notified the state, and they were just sort of slow to respond to it. So there are hotlines you can call too.
Keep shining the light on this, as the Illuminator does. Thank you, Greg LaRose. Really appreciate it.